Hi, this is a C# tutorial of restaurant management system using object-oriented technique. So let me show you guys how this advanced system works. Okay, you see right here we have that's supposed to be the receipt, or that's the receipt. We can always reset and take new order. Enter that, and we cannot even enter any other character apart from numbers in there. And supposing we mistakenly leave this out, there you see what happened. The system automatically resets itself. And let's say we have that and here. All you just need to do is click on total. There we go. There you have the restaurant management there, and right down you have all of the orders made. So what I'm going to do now is to take you guys straight into C# development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Hi, welcome to C# tutorial of restaurant management system. I'm going to start by clicking on new project. Now that the dialog box is ready, I'm going to select C# Windows Forms application, and let's give the project a name. So let's come in here, call it C#_00, because it's going to be an object-oriented technique. Okay, let's call it restaurant system and click on OK. Now that the form is ready, I'm going to define the size. So let's make the size to be 1386 by 800. And right here where we have text, let's change that to restaurant management system. Okay, there we go. So the next thing I'd like to do is let me add a panel. Now we have a panel there, and let's change the properties of this very panel. And where we have back color, okay, let's leave that there. But here, border style, let's change the border style to fixed 3D, and I'm gonna need a couple of those anyway. It's gonna be one here, 2, 3, okay, 4. Alright, this will be for my title. Yeah, that's good. And let's add a label to that very title and change the name. Let's come in here and just call it restaurant management systems. That is my title there. Let's change the size to something readable. Change the color as well. I'm going to change that to control light. Right, size, make that a little bit, or make it much more readable. There we go. I'm going to make it 70. Let's see. Yeah, that's not too bad. This seems to be too wide. Okay, let's reduce it. Reduce it to maybe 60. Alright, back color. Let's change the back color to maybe, yep, okay, control dark. And there we go. Right. Now the back color of that very panel, let's change that to something much darker. Alright. Let's see. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, Even if we have to make any amendment, we'll come back to that. Right. Okay guys, this is how the interface looks right now. When we run it, it will look something a little bit similar, something similar to this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to add the following. Let's come in here. Stop it from running first, and let's add checkbox. Let's see. We're gonna need some checkbox here and some text box as well. Let's see, text box. Right. So let's copy this across. And I just need to work on it properly. And copy it across. And in here we'll need let's go for rich text box here. Rich text box right there. And we need buttons here. Yeah, and labels. Go for some labels. Okay, this is how the interface is looking, so I'm gonna have to speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay guys, this is how the interface looks now. Right, we have all the different menu, drink, and we have shake right here, milkshake, and right here that's supposed to be the receipt and the tax, subtotal, and so on. So if I click on it, let's see, this is how it all looks like. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause, just stop it right there, and let's try and start entering some lines of codes in there. So the first thing I like to do is let me take care of exit first. Double click on the exit there. Right there we'll have to declare as follows. So right here, the data type, let's enter dialog result is that I exit, and we enter as follows. There, let's make these double lines so that you can see it. So that is it with inbuilt C# functions. Okay, so the variable equals as follows. Confirm if you want to exit, and that's the name of the system. Built-in functions, and use an if statement to determine options selected. Right, so if I run it, this is how it will look like. Come right in here, click on exit. Let's see, there we go guys. Just enter no, or you can select yes. Okay, the other thing we need to take care of is let's take care of this very reset button. And before we can do that, I'm going to add two functions. Those two functions, one is going to be for the text box and the other is going to be for the checkbox. So let's go back in here, and there we go. Those are the two functions. This is for the text box, so let's just say that's enable text box or clear text box. Right, that's for clear enable text box, and this is going to be for the check text box. So I will now call these two, then create another one to clear it. So let's come right in here, let's copy that, and right underneath here paste that there, and also copy these function details as well. Right. And one other thing is that's for enable, and the other one is to enhance the checkbox. I'm going to copy one more of this. Now change that to clear the text box. So let's come down here, right in here, paste, and here I will call that clear text box. And this, the function name will become clear text box. Right, and in here, let's change all of this here. That will be dot text box equals 0, and there. And because the text box already have zeros in them, so I actually default it back to 0. So I'm going to now copy the checkbox name and come right there, paste that in there. So those are the 3 functions that will take care of my system. Now, one thing we need to do is, let's come right in there and say lbl tax dot tax equals clear. lbl total dot tax equals clear. And finally, we need one for subtotal. Let's say lbl subtotal. There. That is that there. Done. Now, you see the clear and enable function. I'm going to copy those. In fact, let's copy these 3 functions. Look at those 3 functions, guys. This is to disable the text box, and the one right below is to clear whatever we have in the function on the function text box, and make sure you convert that to 0. And in here, that is to clear to uncheck the checkbox. Now we need one for form load. Double click on the form load and just paste those in there. So when I run them, those functions will be called. So let's run it and see how it's going to look like. There we go, guys. You see that it's all disabled. However, if I click on reset, you see what happened there? All of those are gone. That's good. That makes life easy. Right. Okay, now, but we did not enter anything here that I noticed. Okay, so let's come right down here. We need a name for that. So that's going to be RT receipt. Yeah, something like that. Let's copy that and double click on the reset button again. Right in here, paste that in there. Dot clear. Yeah, that takes care of that. Oh, take that off. That should be here. Right. Now let's deal with the calculations. Let's come to the total. But before we can take care of the total, I will want everything, because this is an object-oriented system, I want everything to be, all of the price and so on, to be inside a class. So let's come right down here, inside project here, add class, and the name of the class, maybe we'll call it, shall we go for meal? Okay, meal, that's it. And make sure class is selected, click on add. There we go. Okay, now that the class mail is ready, we'll enter the following data type. There we go. Those are the data type for the drinks and the different kind of meal we have on board. Right, so let's give this a price. So I might as well just copy this and just give the price. So I'm going to start by copying that. Let's come down here, paste that in there, and I'll change this to price underscore, let's say bottle of water is that. Okay, so let's repeat the same thing for the others and just speed it up. Okay guys, this is how it all looks like now. The only bit that I leave out is the tax rate, but I can always put that in here. Let's say the tax rate happens to be 0. Let's go for 17. Right, that is done. So what I want to do now is right underneath here, I'm going to put this together. So because we have how many of those items, let's see. Okay, because I have 17 in total. Okay, so let's come down here. I will declare some variable, just call it items. There. So right underneath here, let's declare a method for the calculation of everything. So let's say public method, let's say get amount, and there. So we would like amount to return something, and what is going to return is going to be, I think, the cost. That would be what it will return. No, I meant cost. Let's copy that. There. And in here I have cost 1 equals, I want the price, all of the price of this, that's water. Okay, water plus, we'll need just 4 of those, sandwich, this cheese sandwich. So let's speed that up. Okay, this is how the calculations of everything looks now. How to group it in different item cost. Okay, so now let's group the 4 different item costs into one, or we can just, yeah, let's group it here so that it looks a little bit tidy. 1 plus item cost 2 plus item cost 3 plus item cost number 4. There we go, and semicolon. There. So that's the method that carry out the calculation for everything in here. Okay. All right. So let's come down here. What I want to do again is let's create something to take care of the tax itself. All right, and that will be, so that's going to be, let's say double C find tax, and that's going to be double amount, maybe C amount. Okay. And we enter curly braces and enter as follows for the tax. So that's the tax rate. Now, okay, since we are inside this class, so have a good look at my data member, the price of the data member, and in here that's the method created to calculate the cost, and here that's method for tax. I might as well create another method underneath here that will work out the cost of tax to be paid. So to do that, let's say public, we can, so first of all let me declare tax somewhere. where I will store the total of these tags. So let me call that tax course there, and right underneath here I'm going to enter, let's go for double, public double get tags, and in there that's going to be tax course equals, that will be fine tax, this very one there, and is going to be the tax that we want to find will be item cost there, and let's return tax cost there, and just close that. Right, that is fine. Now that is done, okay, one other thing that we can just incorporate into this program is let's incorporate inheritance. So I'm going to go to the project here, let's add another class, let's call that child mail. So that's the main mail there, so, or the parent mail underscore mail. So that's that would be the child, and this one is the parent. So what we'll do is we now get the parent here, this very one. So all of the data type and the method in there will be inherited by the child right there. Okay, so I'm not going to carry out any modification here. If I do, that will become maybe polymorphism, but let's come into our main program here and create a child's objects. That will be child mail. Okay, that's the object. Then I'm going to call that cost of mail. That is the class that I'm creating. That's the object's name, equals new cost of mail there. That is that done. Now we now want cost of mail. The very first one is bottle water dot bottle water equals cost of mail dot price of bottled water right there. We now need to multiply that by how many bottled water we have in here. So let me check out this name. The name here is called what? Oh, this is bottled water. Let's see. Get that. That's the bottled water. I'm back in there. I'm in here. So that will become double dot parse txt bottled water dot text. Right, the first value is right in there, so we will now repeat exactly the same thing for the rest. So mail and the next one, let's see what's the name of the next one. Okay, it's cheese sandwich. So dot cheese sandwich equals cost dot price of cheese sandwich multiply by double dot pass, and that's going to be txt cheese sandwich dot text there. And the next is what? Chocolate milkshake dot chocolate milkshake equals that dot the price of chocolate milkshake double dot pass txt chocolate milkshake dot text. Right, so now I presume you guys get the whole idea. I have to repeat that for all, and I'll be right with you as soon as I'm done. Okay guys, and welcome back. So this is how the lines of code for the calculation looks like. But there's one more thing I'd like to do here. Let me declare as follows. So I'm gonna go for double, so let's say I tax comma I subtotal and I total. So those are the three variables that I'm going to be using. Now let's scroll right down here. Now that those variables are declared, the method, the variables, and all of the calculations taken care of. Now let's come right down here. So let's say I total equals, let's call this instant here, paste that here, dot get, that should be get tax. There we go. That is for the tax. Now the next one, let's go for the subtotal. That of the subtotal is called amount. So let's come right down here and enter as follows as well. Let's see, why do we have this error? Okay, get rid of that. Now the next one is subtotal equals cost of menu dot, that will be get amount, right, and I total equals subtotal, no, that will be subtotal plus I tax. There, that's all that taken care of. Now the next thing we want to do is to assign all of these into this component here. I think this is a label. Let's see. Yeah, it is a label, LBL tax, and the rest are all label as well. Okay, that's fine. So back in here, come right down here and say, let's go for LBL subtotal dot text equals there. Alright, so copy that. I'll just change that for, so LBL tax dot text equals, so this will be I tax. Okay, so finally that's LBL total dot text equals there. So change this to total. Right, so this will convert this amount to pound sign. That's what that is, and this is the whole lot is converted to string. Okay, so let me see if that's gonna work for now. Let's just try it out before we continue. Okay, so we can't enter anything in there because we do need some lines of code to take care of these. So let's click on total. There, it's working. So I'm going to clear works as well, and there we go. Okay, so all we then need to do is let's come in here. See each of these, when I click on it, I expect whatever we have in here to disappear. So what we do is double click on this, and let's come down and use an if statement. If chk fries dot check equals, I think it's equals true. No, equals true, and we want the content in here. We want whatever we have inside txt fries dot text equals there, and txt fries dot enable equals true as well. Then we want txt fries dot focus there. Alright, else if is, let's just say else and see what's gonna happen. Else all of this becomes this, so this becomes 0, enable becomes false, and this is not needed. Okay, let's try this very first one out, then we take it from there. So click on that, and supposing it's unchecked, there we go. Click, enter value, multiply that by whatever we have, there we go. So the cost of fries, I don't know. And what about tax? We need to find that out. Let's exit. Let's clear first and exit. Yeah. Let's come in here and look for fries. Yeah, £1 something. Okay, that's correct. Then what about the tax? Okay, so I think everything here looks fine to me, and I have my tax rate there. So let's come back in here. Oh, wait a minute. I think this, we need to be able to get the value into the subtotal. Let's see, I think that might be default. That's the arrangement. Let's try it out again. Okay, click on that and enter whatever in there. 8. There we go. You see, the arrangement matters. Alright, you have to sell something before you can tax it. That is true. Okay then, so let's come back in here. We then need to take care of this other one, salad. Let's come here and say if, using an if statement. I'm just gonna copy that, paste that in here, and this will become salad. Change all of that to salad. So I'm gonna have to repeat exactly the same thing for the rest checkbox. So instead of hanging around, I might as well find a way to speed that up, and I will then get back to you guys as soon as that is done. Then we'll go on to the next one. There. So let's speed that up. 2 is done so far, so let's speed it up. We'll copy. Okay, all the checkbox are taken care of. Now let's try it out and see how it works. Click on start. I'm right there, guys. Okay, you see we can enter whatever we want in there, but there's still some more problems. Look at these ones that I've left empty. Okay, if I click on total, there we have an error because there's nothing in there, right? However, it does work without if you enter some values in them. So let's say I run it and enter something in there. And that is fine. Yes, it works. However, supposing I enter characters like that, okay, we have an error, so we need to take care of that as well. So we have 2 bugs there that need to be taken care of. Okay, let's go back. The first thing I like to do is I'm going to select all of these text boxes so that we can then prevent the end user from entering characters. So now let's go into property and let's select the event. Right inside the event, I'm going to need event key press. Right inside the key press, I'm just going to call that numbers only. Numbers underscore only. Right, press enter. Okay, right in there, let's say char c equals, let's say char character equals e dot key char. Okay, now let's say if the data you enter is not char dot is digit, alright, then we can say C and C not equals to 8. If it's not equals to 8, then we enter this e dot handle equals true. There. So that should hopefully take care of the user entering unwanted value in there. So let's give it a run and see. Okay, with the visual keyboard, I'm going to select anything in there and let's try to see if we can enter any other value. You see that now, or we can enter numbers. That's fine. Alright, that's fine. Okay, yeah, we can close that now. It's working how we want there. However, supposing the second bug is you may end up mistakenly leaving that, okay, without any value, so that will give you an error like we saw earlier on. So we need to take care of that as well. So let's end that. Okay guys, to take care of that, let's come straight in here and the design view here. I'm going to select all of these text box and let's try to use event validated. Okay, all of the text box are selected, so I'm now going to come straight to the properties. Make sure you select the event and let's come right down here. Event validated, I'm going to use this one. Let's try that one out. So let's say, let's call it text underscore validate. text underscore validate. That's going to be the name of the event. Enter, and right there let's create an object. Okay, so the object is going to be text box. Let me call it text box. Let's just call it B equals sender as text box. Okay, as text box. And in that case, let's say if b dot text equals nothing. Okay, I want the system to officially validate and enter 0. That's it. So hopefully this should take care of it. Let's enter 0 there. Hopefully this few lines of code should take care of that error. So I'm going to run it. So if I mistakenly leave out, or just mistakenly leave out a text box without entering a value in there, I expect the system to default back to 0. Okay, let's try that out, guys. Let's enter a value in there. Mistake made. Move on. Yeah, it's working. That's good. Alright, that's working. Let's try this out. That's fine, guys. You see that the system officially default back to 0 itself. So that's good. Click on that. There we go. That's good. So all this is left for us now is to take care of this. That's meant to be the receipt. So within the receipt, I would like the system just to display button what we have in here. Okay, so let's put that together now. Reset and exit. Yeah, this is a very good system. I like it. It's advanced. All the errors are taken care of. Alright, so let's have a look at this. Double click on total. I want the total to print out the receipt as well. We'll come right down here. I'm going to put that in here. So let's just add a break there, and I just call that receipt. So in the receipt is called RT receipt. Dot append, and in there it's meant to be, let's enter some space in there. We want it in the middle, and let's just call it restaurant. System, or let's say management system. Alright, okay, that's good. And right here I'm going to enter a break there, and let's say we have that in there, then another break, and here we need, let's go for the name of the very first item. That means I'm going to have about 17 of those somewhere. Let's come here. The first one, yeah, that's the very first one. So we'll say plus txt bottled water dot text. Right, and we also need another plus. Right, and whatever the next one will be, I don't know yet, but that is not the first item. The first item is fries, so I think I should go with the first item. So back in there I have to arrange it in an orderly manner. So okay, that's for bottled water is done. Okay, let's copy that. Come right out here. And here I was supposed to enter, we might as well enter new line. Yeah, new line. And plus there. The same thing here, new line. And this will be fries. And this is TXT fries. Right. Okay, let's see what else do we have. We have salad there. And that's TXT salad. Right. I presume you guys get the whole idea. So what I'm going to do now is just give that a try. And if that works the way I want, then I'll just speed it all up. Okay. We have bottled water, we have fries, we have that, and let's click on that. There we go, guys. You see that it works how I want. However, I need some space in there, so let's go back in here. So in here, let's tab one more. That might be too much, but let's see. Supposing we have column there. Right. That's very good. This is a very advanced system. I like it. This will be very good for your project, guys. You can always work on it and make it a final year project. So let's come in here, enter whatever we want, and just click on that. That is good. So we need one more tab here, and one more here, and some more here. Okay, let's copy this, paste it in. Right. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to speed that all up. Speed it up, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, guys, the receipt is completed. So, and this is how the whole receipt looks. Let me show it to you guys properly. Everything is inside the total. That's it. Take it down right there. Okay, so let's try it out. Run the program, and there. Well, for those, that's too much. Mistake made there. Yeah. Okay, so hit on total. There we go, guys. Look at that. You see that? See, that's very, very beautiful. In fact, this is a very advanced tutorial which you guys can always improve on, convert it to your main project or whatever you want to do. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. You all have a nice day now, and please do subscribe. You all have a nice day. Bye for now.